Hey, how's it going? So it's been a while since I made a video like this, but one of the questions that I do get asked pretty frequently are, what are my favorite decks? So before I start the list, I do want to say, out of, the hundreds of companies, thousands of decks at this point, like these 8, and I'll tell you why it's 8 in a little bit, but these 8 are the decks that I usually always go back to. So the reason why I wanted to make this a top 8 is I play a lot of Magic the Gathering, and in tournaments there's the top 8. Pokemon TCG has the top cut. Never played Yu-Gi-Oh competitively, so I don't know what they have. However, I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. They have a top 8. In Pokemon it's called the top cut. I like the top cut better. So this is going to be John's, or TC Jean's, top cut in fingerboard decks. Let's check them out. So a lot of these decks I do have an unboxing or multiple unboxings. Actually, I think all of them I have multiple unboxings for. So I have quite a few decks of each of these companies. And starting off at number 8 is going to be Flint. So this one, what I really like about it is how wide the nose is. The tail, it's a little bit shorter than what I would prefer, which is why it's number 8. However, normally I will stick to high kicks, deep concave. This has neither of them. It's a mellow deck. It's medium low kicks and then like medium, maybe concave, medium-ish. I don't know what it is about this one, but I do really like it. And unboxing them when you first get them, it's like a whole experience by itself. They come in this nice little box in cork that you have to fight maybe 5-10 minutes to get it out of the package without tearing open the that flap. But yeah, I've set up not too many. I think I've set up maybe 8 or so of these Flint decks, and out of those 8 I've never had any holes misaligned. They've always come really good. And the way you get a hold of these is he'll do drops. I don't think it's monthly. It might be monthly or every other month or something like that, but just give him a follow on Instagram. He'll post when he's doing his next stock drop. He usually gives about a week or 2 in advance, sometimes more. I don't think he goes too crazy with applies. They're usually either maple, sometimes walnut. The Flint decks, super solid. And I guess just for reasons, the way I have a lot of these decks set up, they're going to be the same thing. It's either going to be FBS, in this case it is FBS, or Black Velvet on the grip tape, BRTs, dynamics sometimes, and then other trucks. Just depends what I feel. Like 9 times out of 10 it will be lab wheels. So up for number 7, if you've been on my channel for a very long time, you'll know that this is one of the first companies I did an unboxing for, and it's going to be Peak Fingerboards. So I've been using these Peak decks for almost 2 years now, and I have set up, I have no idea how many. I've set up a lot of the Peak decks, and what I really like about them is this consistency with them. The shape on it is going to be like almost like a twin tail, but it's not. The tail is a tiny bit shorter than the nose, but look how wide the nose and how wide the tail is. There's like no tapering. It's rounded like pretty close to where the nose and tail like end. And this one right here, I think I have the mountain concave, which is going to be the deepest concave. And then I did use whatever the medium one is. I think it's the plateau or the valley. It's one of those. There's the plateau, mountain, and valley. Those are going to be the concave. And he does have a bunch of different shapes, but I do like just the standard popsicle. And the way you get a hold of these, just go on the website. They are made to order, so sometimes they do take, a few extra days to get to you. But this is the latest one that I had set up, and I set this one up quite a while back. I believe right before I left to Vooz. Peak Fingerboards, solid. So for number 6, it is going to be a company from France. It's going to be Genius. So I've been talking to Genius for quite a while, a little over a year before I actually got the decks. And this is the third one that I've set up, and I do really like it. This is going to be more of like a medium kicks, medium concave. And this right here, I believe it's a 33, so this is going to be the thinnest deck that I use. It's a 33. I have the SB trucks on it. These are the lab vitamins, something I didn't say. Dynamics, Legacy R's. When I had first set this one up, I wasn't too sure how I was going to feel about the medium kicks, medium concave, but the geometry of this board is fantastic. And I also really like the plies. If you haven't seen the unboxing that I did for the Genius decks, I think I bought like 13 decks and he threw in 2 of them. So 15 decks, maybe, something like that. Each one of them, the ply combinations were super, super cool. And I like the deck so much, like right after I did the unboxing, or maybe it was the next morning, I went outside and filmed a little edit with it. I really like these decks. And you get a hold of these. He does have a website, and he does do customs as well. Just shoot him a message on Instagram. He's usually pretty quick with the responses. So yeah, get you some custom Genius decks or pick any of the graphics that he does have. Really, really good decks. But yeah, they do come from France, so it may take a while to get to you. And for number 5, it is going to be Cowply. So this deck, I've been using the same Cowply. It was for a long time because for whatever reason, John's website, it would not let me place an order. So I would get my Cowply decks usually when he would do collabs with other people, and I'll just get it from their website. But turns out that John actually watches my videos, so that's how I got in contact with him. And then yeah, we met at Booze, and I was like, hey, is it cool if I place a large order? He's like, oh yeah, for sure. So yeah, that, and still to this day, my like most insane unboxing is Cowply. So this one right here is going to be the C1 revised, which is going to have higher kicks, and it's like a more, it's not as mellow concave as the original C1, or at least to me it doesn't feel that way. And this one is going to be a 33.5 wide deck. I do have 34mm trucks just because I like the way it feels. I like the weight of this deck. And this one right here does have more of a squared nose, but it's not quite square. And then the tail, little tapered, but not too bad. Little short, but I do like the way that it feels, which is why it's on this list. And the way you get a hold of these, you just go to Cowply's website. Every now and then, I have seen he's been posting like 10 to 20% off, which is something really, really cool. Depending how busy he is, it may take up to 2 weeks, I think is what the website says. Because these ones as well, they are made to order. And for number 4, someone who is no stranger to my channel, I think I have like 6 or 7 unboxings of this company. It's going to be Double Joint. I have set up, I'm pretty sure, well over 20 something double joint decks, and I've loved every single one of them. Now my mold preference does change with double joint. I used to be all about the classic joint, the medium kicks, mellow concave. It just worked so well for me. Really, really liked it. And then I got into the black sheep, and I've been all over the black sheep ever since. It's been like maybe 8-9 months since I started using the black sheep, and these decks I go back to all the time. Kyle has crazy ply combinations, vibrant colors on the plies. The graphics are insane, super colorful, super like out there. Like, there's a lot going on. I think this is probably one of the most tamest graphics he has, and it's Godzilla atomic blasting a bunch of mannequins. This graphics, Mannequin Extinction, I really, really love it. So the black sheep, high kicks, deep concave. And when I say deep concave, I mean it's almost a U. It's so nice. And then these kicks, they're pretty steep. Love these decks. And of course, follow him on Instagram to know the next time he's opening up his shop. He does have it open for, I think, however long until he's tells himself, yeah, there's too many orders. I'm closing the shop until I get all these out. So for number 3, it is going to be the newest addition to this top 8, my top cut. It is going to be milk fingerboards. So I have been recommended to try milk out, I think maybe 7 months before I actually tried one, by quite a few people. It is crazy how fast it jumped up on my list of like decks that I like to use. But I did get one of them from Nugs. I got it from Alex at Vooz. He did give me one to try out. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I've been wanting to try one out. And so I think I had set it up either the day I got back from Vooz, or like that was the first thing I did was set up the milk deck. And I have not put these down ever since April when I got back. And the way you get a hold of these, just follow him on Instagram. He'll post the decks, the graphics that he's working on, the decks that he's made. And then he'll go live, I think like 30 minutes to an hour before the next stock drop happens. And I haven't talked to him in a while, but if he's still having the same problems, it's not that hard to order these milk decks. I believe in you. So for my second favorite, another person who is no stranger to this channel, and I do talk to Nate pretty frequently, it's going to be Famous Decks. And these decks, another company, I think one of the earliest companies I did do an unboxing for. I love these decks a lot. He does have a bunch of different molds, bunch of different shapes, sizes, anything you want to fingerboard on, he's got you covered. One thing that I do really like is he rotates his graphics very frequently. And what I mean by that is he'll get a stock of graphics, and once they're gone, they're gone. Maybe they'll be brought back, but it's going to be a different color, or like, a reworked version of whatever it is. And it's always a pleasure talking to Nate. He's super chill person. But yeah, when it comes to Famous decks, right now I'm using the Epic, but I do like the Diamond and the Magic. I think those 3 are what I've used like the majority part. I have tried the Legend, I have tried the Sublime. These decks, they are made to order, so just hop on his website, see what he's got in stock. And while you're there, something that I like is you can get your trucks, you can get your wheels, you can get your bushings, you can get your grip tape. It is basically a one-stop shop, because he carries everything you need to get a complete fingerboard. And for my number 1, which may come as a huge shock to everybody watching this video, it is going to be Beast Pants. Like I said, big shock, right? So I've done many an unboxing. I have gone like in depth about each mold that he has, the shapes, the graphics, and these decks, I love using them. The one that I'm using right now is a ferrule, so it's going to have medium kicks, medium concave. I normally do use a rabid, which is going to be higher kicks and a deeper concave. And every now and then when I feel like being different, I'll use the domesticated. What I've been using a lot recently is the Eggy. This one right here, the Eggy. I've been using this one pretty frequently. When it comes to the decks, they are my favorite to use. And one thing that I really do like about them is I found out about Beast Pants like just as I was leaving, or I guess stepping away to focus on my life, whatever, from fingerboarding. I'm so happy that Chris is still making decks to this day. Yeah, I've been liking Beast Pants for a long time. The way you get a hold of these, time travel, I mean, they are really hard to get a hold of. He does do stock drops, but you do have to be very quick to get a hold of them. And then he does do the stealth drops, which you just got to be at the right time on his website, refreshing the page. But one thing I do want to say, and I cannot stress it enough, if you're interested in trying a Beast Pants deck, do not pay that much over retail, because, and I'll tell you here, they are my favorite decks to use. They are not worth what people are trying to get out of them. Like, unless you start getting into the collector aspect of it, in which case it's a completely different breakdown. And the same thing goes for all the rest of these ones. These companies right here, they are either made to order or they do drop decks like pretty frequently. You don't have to like go out of your way to try and get a hold of any of these ones. But yeah, this is my top cut in fingerboard companies as of now in 2023, which it has been the same at least since April when Milk joined. But you know, I'm not saying like these are like the only decks I use. There's plenty of decks that just missed out on the top cut, but I was pretty adamant that I wanted it to be a top 8 instead of a top 10, because there's like TP decks, Taupe, Sorry, Level Edges makes decks. I really like those decks. Soya, Darkwood, Mackenzie. Like they're like, that's already like a whole top 8 by itself. I think I'm off by one. We'll put in Vivid Wood just to make it like a second top 8. These 8 are my favorite decks to use. For the most part, the molds that I do use from them, they do change. Especially when it comes to Beast Pants, I always swap between Feral and Rabid. And then Double Joint, I change a lot. Famous, I change a lot. Cowplay, I've been sticking with the C1 and I have been enjoying it a lot. I would recommend trying at least one from this top 8. More if you can. If you have the opportunity, try them out. Definitely recommend them. I've never tried to put any of these decks together and the holes were misaligned. All of them have been extremely consistent as far as the craftsmanship goes, so huge points on that. But yeah, this is my top 8. Down in the comments, well, I guess you wouldn't have to type out 8 companies, so we'll do top 3. Down in the comments, put your top 3, top 8 if you want to, so I can see how wrong y'all are. I don't know, maybe I'll get interested in trying out a different deck, you know, see how they compare to these. Give all these companies a follow. That's a lot to type out. I probably won't have them. You can type out, you know, so and so unboxing, have it up on the channel. It'll have their website, their Instagram down there in that video, and my Instagram will be down in this video because this is my channel. However, that'll do it for now. Take it easy. Have a good one.